Hello friends, today's first question on current affairs relates to the BRICS. Which of the following nations joined the BRICS group on 1st January 2024? Well, all of them have joined. 6 countries were invited, but 5 have opted to join. The country that has kept out, or rather declined, or rather withdrawn its own application is Argentina. Okay, so let's take a short note on the BRICS. The BRICS initially it started with BRIC. It started with BRIC as 4 countries in 2009. Okay, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and this was a term coined by a Goldman Sachs executive. He was the head of the Goldman Sachs asset division, and he said that these 4 countries, that is Brazil, Russia, India, and China, would comprise 50% of the world's GDP in 2050. Now that's a far cry from where to today, and of course this was made in a projection made in 2001. So I mean, 50 years projection is a long, it's a big guess. 50 years is a long time for anything to happen. But he still said that these 4 countries would comprise, their GDPs would make for 50% of the global output in 2050. So he's coined this term BRIC. But then, what started as BRIC in 2009 became BRICS in 2010 with the addition of South Africa. Now, till date, it's been about 5 countries, but in August last year, that is 2023, the BRICS met BRICS nations met for their annual summit in Brazil. This time it was in Brazil. So the 2023 annual summit was in Brazil. Okay, so they met in Brazil, and in Brazil, I think they met in South Africa. I'm so sorry for that. They met in a place called Johannesburg. Let me give you the name of the place itself. Johannesburg in South Africa. Why did Brazil come into my mind? Anyway, so they met in Johannesburg in South Africa, and they decided to invite few more countries, and they sent out invitations to 6 countries which had applied to BRICS in the first part. These countries applied to, they expressed an interest to join BRICS. So, the invitations were sent. 5 countries agreed to join. The 6th country, as I mentioned, Argentina, declined. Why did it decline? Well, Argentina has grave financial issues. It owes the world a lot of money. But, it also has a new president. Argentina has a new president, and the president's name is Javier J.H. Milei. He is a right-winger, and he says that he reasoned that if his country would join the BRICS group, then it may alienate its major lenders, which are the United Nations and the IMF. The IMF is more or less run by the United States. So I said United Nations, no, it is United States. I think a couple of errors there. Javier said, we are better off with the United States rather than with the BRICS nations. So majorly, my country needs financial restructuring. We have a lot more debt to repay, and unless my creditors, who are primarily based in America, agree to that, the repayment schedule cannot be worked out, to the satisfaction of his country. So he said, for now we will withdraw our application. So Argentina withdrew from the grouping. Rather from the application to the grouping. That this happened in December last year. So now 5 countries have joined: Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran. Of course, all they are mentioned there. And the next summit will have all 10 countries. Sitting in Russia, in the city of Kazan. So Kazan city will be the host of the 2024 BRICS summit. So 2023, South Africa's Johannesburg city, which is the biggest city in South Africa, but hosted it, and The annual event in 2024 will be hosted by Kazan city in Russia. Now, Ethiopia is a country that most of us are not familiar with. You know, Ethiopia is the world's second oldest Christian country. The oldest Christian country is Armenia, which is in Central Asia. But if you look at Ethiopia, second oldest Christian country, it's in Africa. Its capital is Addis Ababa. Addis Ababa, and its prime minister is Abiy Ahmed Ali. Let's call him Abiy Ahmed. He won the Nobel Peace Prize. You know that? Yeah. But of course, this is a little about the groups, the grouping, BRICS grouping. Fair? I think we know about each of these countries, the rest of the countries. So, which country has assumed the presidency of the BRICS group? Oh, there is another question. Russia, as I mentioned, the 2024, this year's summit will be held in Kazan city in Russia. In Russia. That's the way to pronounce Kazan, K-A-J-A-N, Kazan. And you can say Kajun also, no harm. And another pronunciation you could learn is Russia. This is pronounced as Rush and A. That's the right pronunciation, but we should say Russia for our people, the people around us to understand it. Okay? And just to bring in a little about South Africa, there are 3 capitals it has. Cape Town, that's capital 1. Capital 2, Bloemfontein. Okay. And capital 3, which is Pretoria. So, fair? Let's go. Which Indian state has ranked first for the 3rd straight year in the interoperable criminal justice system? Now, the interoperable criminal justice system was proposed and implemented by the Union Ministry of Home Affairs, headed by Amit Shah. What does it do? What does the interoperable criminal justice system do? Well, it transfers data between police stations, between police, courts, forensic laboratories, and jails, basically. Data like what? Police FIRs, first information reports, that is FIRs, case diaries, any kind of progress. So all these are, fed into a central system, and anyone at the click of the judge sitting in the court, basically at the click of a button, would know what's the FIR like in a particular case. So this is what the interoperable criminal justice system is. That is transferring data between, between police, jails, forensic laboratories, and courts. And the data includes FIRs and case diaries. What is the objective of this? The objective is to prepare the Indian judiciary for the digital age. We are moving towards the digital age. A lot of things are automated, and Uttar Pradesh runs the show. I mean, it is right at the top of this system, my friends. Uttar Pradesh is run by Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath. And Telangana has the new Chief Minister A. Revant. Okay, let me write in full. Revant Reddy. Revant Reddy. Okay. Gujarat, Bhupendra Patel. Who has been appointed India's permanent representative to the United Nations and other international organizations in Geneva? Well, Arindam Bagchi has succeeded, what's her name? Ruchira Kamboj. Ruchira Kamboj was the first Indian woman permanent representative to the UN. Ruchira Kamboj is the outgoing, permanent representative. So Arindam Bagchi also heads a lot of other organizations that we have in Geneva. What are the organizations that are headquartered in Geneva? International Labour Organization, International Telecommunications Union, okay, the World Health Organization, the World Trade Organization, plenty of them actually. Okay, there's a couple of more. Let's write one more. UNHCR, United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees. So the UN agencies, specialized or otherwise, like International Labour Organization, International Telecommunications Union, World Health Organization, World Trade Organization, and United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees are all headquartered in Geneva, and all of them have the same guy representing India, Anandam Bakshi. Okay? Who has been honored with the prestigious MS Swaminathan Award in recognition of his contributions in the field of agronomy, Cambodia. Okay. Now, who was MS Swaminathan? Mankombu Sambashivan Swaminathan is considered the father of India's Green Revolution. He is considered the father of two major things. The father of Green Revolution, whose aim was to increase food grain production. To make India self-sufficient in food grains. Now, he started this in the 1960s. So he is also called the father of India's Green Revolution plus the father of economic ecology. Okay, economic ecology. And you know what? Swaminathan ji was also named one of the 3 Indians in the list of 20 most influential Asians in the 20th century. Top 20 Asian influential persons. Think about it, man. In the entire 20th century, 20 people were taken to signify their contribution. I mean, these people had the highest influence on the world around. And of the 3 people who were chosen from India, who have had remarkable influence on in the world around, one was Mahatma Gandhi, second was Tagore, and among all those, and the third one, MS Swaminathan. Think about it, my friends. That's the kind of impact Swaminathan ji has had. He passed away recently. So MS Swaminathan, the father of India's Green Revolution, whose aim was to increase food grain production to make India self-sufficient, and of course he seriously believed in sustainable agriculture, sustainable development. So he is also considered the father of economic ecology. Okay. Padma Bhushan awardee Ved Prakash Nanda passed away recently. He was a noted legal scholar. His specialties were international law, and he was asked to, he studied abroad. I think he studied his legal, he got a legal degree from abroad, basically, a PhD actually. And he headed a lot of committees at the UN as well. I'm not going to spend a lot of time because this is not very important, but just know that India has 4 major civilian awards. Number 1 is Bharat Ratna, number 2 is Padma Vibhushan, number 3 is Padma Bhushan. So this is India's number 3, third highest civilian award, and 4th is Padma Shri. By partnering with which country has India begun a joint military exercise named Desert Cyclone? Well, you would know this very easily. The United Arab Emirates. Desert, where would you find desert? You won't find the desert in Indonesia or in Maldives or in Thailand. Okay. The United Arab Emirates. So let's look at choices. Indonesia, we have Garuda Shakti, a military exercise called Garuda Shakti. Maldives, one exercise called Equivarian. We have an ongoing dispute with Maldives now, but this is the name of the military exercise with Maldives. Thailand, what is it? Maitri. Maitri is friendship. Oman, Al-Naga. Al-Naga, military exercise. Plenty of stuff there. Under the National Sickle Cell Anemia Elimination Mission, more than 1 crore people have been screened for disease. Identify the correct statements. All of them are correct, my friends. See, sickle cell is an inherited blood disorder. It's an inherited blood disorder. In this, what happens is that, hemoglobin in the blood is impacted. And as you know, hemoglobin is a protein that carries oxygen to different parts of the blood, basically different parts of the body. So oxygen is carried to blood vessels by hemoglobin, but sickle cell anemia impacts hemoglobin. How? In sickle cell, basically in this disease, the cells turn into sickles. Basically, they shape like this. They turn into like this, and because it's sharp edge, they don't move. Because if they are round, they can move easily in the blood vessel. Now, when they are sickle shaped, they kind of block the path of the blood, basically. So it cannot, blood is not carried, or and that is where people turn anemic and all. Now, it is not exactly a fatal disease, but a lot of people have sickle cell anemia, my friends. In India, we have 7 crore. We had multiple people. I mean, millions of Indians have anemia, and some of them have sickle cell anemia. But see, anemia could be non-genetic, but sickle cell anemia is genetic. It comes from, it's a passed on legacy. And we have a target of eliminating this particular disease by 2047. That is the 100th year of our independence. Okay. Which country recently declared the snow leopard as a national symbol, signifying its commitment to conservation and ecological balance? This is Kyrgyzstan, my friends. This is Kyrgyzstan. Kyrgyzstan's capital is Bishkek. It's mentioned there, and its president is a guy called Sadir Zaparov. Okay, there is Kyrgyzstan here, and then Uzbekistan. Okay, let's go in order. Tajikistan, Dushanbe. Tajikistan is Dushanbe. Yes, I'm right. Then Dushanbe. It's a little stuck, I think. And the president is Imam Ali Rahman. Uzbekistan. Let's take a U-turn, or rather, basically, here, let's from Tajikistan, the border country of Uzbekistan. Uzbekistan's capital, you can see it here in the corner. It will be there. Yeah, Tashkent. Okay, Tashkent. This is where the peace accord between India and Pakistan happened in the January of 1966. Tashkent. Okay, Uzbekistan. And the president here is Shavkat Mirzi Yoyev. Shavkat Mirzi Yoyev. Okay. Turkmenistan, look at this country. Oh, it's an isolated country, my friends. Very dangerous place. Turkmenistan's capital is Ashgabat. It's mentioned here. Not a kind of country you should go. Ashgabat. And the president is Sardar Berdi Muhammadov. In some places you may find Muhammadov, which is okay. Sardar Berdi Muhammadov is the president. And the last country, Kazakhstan, very large country. I'll write here itself. Kazakhstan, you see this, that's the capital, Astana here. And the president, Kasim Jomart Tokayev. Kasim Jomart Tokayev is the president. See, there was all these 5 countries together were republics in the Soviet Union. All these were republics they were separate countries, separate states in the Soviet Union. The USSR, the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, was a superpower that existed between 1922 and 1991. It had 15 provinces. These are 5. Russia would be 6. Yeah, you have you would have 3 here. Armenia 7, Azerbaijan 8, 9 Georgia. Then you have 10 Ukraine, 11 Belarus, 12 Moldova, 13 Estonia, 14 Latvia, 15 Lithuania. So all these were, today they are independent countries, but before 91, between 92 and 91, they were all provinces in the USSR. Now, as far as snow leopard is concerned, it's a pretty, it's a rarely found thing. It's usually found in, high altitude. And India, there is a particular national park called Hemis National Park in Ladakh, where you would find the snow leopard. It is India's biggest national park. Biggest national park in India. By area, the biggest. Okay. The Reserve Bank of India has extended the Payments Infrastructure Development Fund scheme until December 2025. Identify the correct statements. All of them are correct, my friends. But what exactly is this? See, it was launched by the RBI in January 2021 for a period of 3 years. Now it's been extended. What is the objective? The objective is to incentivize, that is encourage people by giving them incentives, incentivize deployment of payment POS, payment point of sale, payment acceptance infrastructure. Now what is payment acceptance infrastructure? POS, point of sale, which could be digital like QR codes and all that, or which could be physical, which like debit card swipe machines. They're called swipe machines, card machines. Okay, so all of these to encourage the basically digital transactions. So the idea is to improve the spread of digital and physical infrastructure for cashless payments. Okay, so and this is across across cities, tier 1 to tier 6, my friends, and where not all states, but tier 1 to tier 6 cities, then northeastern states, then 2 union territories, one Ladakh, the other J&K. Okay, now one more thing, QR is quick reaction. What is it? Quick reaction. This is a technology that was started by a Japanese company called Dentsu. I think they're called Dentsu. Yeah. Okay. What is GPRS? What is POS? Point of sale. I told you this. POS is point of sale. Mobile point of sale. GPRS. Okay. Not all things are important, so I will not focus too much of load actually. Okay. Since I mentioned GPRS, I'll go with the idea of GPRS. What is it? General Packet Radio Service. General Packet Radio Service. General Packet Radio Service. You know what a sound box? When you make a digital payment, there is a voice that comes out. 15 rupees 15 received on Paytm, kind of. That is a sound box basically. Okay. This is to prevent fraud on the part of the customer. Who has been honored with the Sangeet Kalanidhi Vidushi Award? Bombay Jayashree Ramnath. Bombay Jayashree. She is a vocalist. These two received the prize in 2022, 2021 and 2020, I think. Okay. Or basically Carnatic or musicians, vocalists or instrumentalists. At which place did India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh inaugurate the first all-girls Sainik school named Samvid Gurukulam Girls Sainik School in Mathura, Uttar Pradesh? See, Sainik school was started in 1961. They were started in 1961, and as of today, till 2021, there were 33 Sainik schools. 33 Sainik schools. Okay. 33 Sainik school. So I guess that should be fine. The Reserve Bank of India has enhanced the bulk deposit limit for scheduled urban cooperative banks in tier 3 and tier 4 cities to earlier the limit was 15 lakh, now it's been increased. One single term deposits could be above 3 crore, man. That's a lot of money. Now thing is above 1 crore, I'm so sorry, above 1 crore. So you need to budget for the fact that there are different kinds of banks in India. So to be clear, 12 public sector banks. You could write this 12 public sector banks. I'll just give you the list. 12 public sector banks. Next, 21 private sector banks. 21 private sector banks like Axis Bank, ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank. 12 private sector banks. Next, 43 regional rural banks. 43 regional rural banks. Then 34 state cooperative banks. 34 state cooperative banks. It's easy to remember this. The first 4. 12 public sector banks, 12. You know this anyway. I'm sure you would know this. Reverse it, 21. Reverse the number, 21 private sector banks. And then we said there are 43 regional rural banks. Reverse 43, that's 34. That is 34 state cooperative banks. Yeah. Next, 6 payments banks. 6 payments banks. And 12 small finance banks. 12 small finance banks. Now it's doubling. 6 payments banks, 12 small finance banks. Okay. Chalo. Felix Tshisekedi has been re-elected the president of the Democratic Republic of the Congo. This is the second biggest country in Africa. Second biggest country in Africa. This is the capital, Kinshasa. What is the capital? Kinshasa. Yeah. See, this is almost on the border with the Republic of the Congo, on the river Congo. This is the river Congo. Okay, it's a very dangerous country. A lot of violence, especially here in north and the eastern part. There are terrorist groups like the LRA, Lord's Resistance Army. The rebel forces of Uganda, Rwanda, South Sudan. They all come into the DRC for protection of goods. What are the choices here? Just let me clear this. Mozambique's capital is Maputo. You can see it here. Maputo at the corner here. Maputo. And Philip Nyusi is the president. Philip Nyusi. Rwanda. Capital is Kigali. And the president is Paul Kagame. Tanzania. The president of Tanzania was in India recently. Her name is Samia Hassan Suluhu. Simply write Samia Suluhu. Okay. This is Madagascar, the world's 4th biggest island and the second biggest island country. The world's biggest island country is Indonesia, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is the second biggest, island country. Madagascar, you can see the capital, Antananarivo. Those of you who can't see it clearly because it's in small font, very small font. Antananarivo is the capital of Madagascar, and the president is Andre Rajoelina. Andre Rajoelina. Which is the second nation in the world after the USA, that is, to launch a satellite named XPO-SAT to study X-ray polarization. XPO X is X-ray, PO is polarization, and SAT is satellite. So XPOSat is X-ray polarization satellite. We could write this, or polarimeter satellite. That's a better way of writing it. X-ray polarimeter satellite. Okay. What are X-rays? X-rays are electromagnetic radiation, EM waves. Okay. Now, it has two payloads, and it was launched abroad. You could write this PSLV, Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle C58. That was the name of the rocket. C58. Let me write there in the corner. Okay. And it had two payloads. It has two payloads. One is Polix. You could write this Indian X-ray polarimeter. Indian X-ray polarimeter. Indian X-ray polarimeter. And next, expect X-ray spectroscopy and timing. See, a few years back, it's about 2021, NASA launched a spacecraft to study X-rays. Okay, and its name was IXPE. US launched IXPE, which is imaging. You could write this. Let me write. Not that my handwriting is great. Okay, imaging X-ray polarimetry explorer. Imaging X-ray polarimeter explorer. So IXPE was launched by the US. In 2021, while India has launched in 2023. Something like Expos, not 2023, first week of January, basically. I think first week of January, yes, this year. India's space program is doing exceptionally well. And you would know the father of the Indian space program is Vikram Sarabhai. What's the name? Vikram Sarabhai. Dash has been appointed chairperson of the 16th Finance Commission. This is Arvind Panagriya. He is a professor at Columbia University. And what is the Finance Commission? The Finance Commission is appointed by the President of India under Article 280 of the Indian Constitution. Constitution of India. Article 280. Article 280. Okay. Under this, the President of India appoints the Finance Commission. What is the Finance Commission's main job? The main job is to define the financial relations between the central government and individual state governments. Essentially, it's a federal setup. So, defining financial relations between the center and the states. This is done by the Finance Commission and under Article 280. So we have the 16th Finance Commission. The 15th Finance Commission was headed by N.K. Nandakishore Singh. N.K. Singh. Nandakishore Singh. Normally he is called N.K. Singh, which is Nandakishore Singh. What about the choices? Look at choice A. V.A. Nageshwaran. Venkataraman. Right, Venkataraman Ananta Nageshwaran. Venkataraman Ananta Nageshwaran, Chief Economic Advisor of Government of India to Government of India. Chief Economic Advisor to the Government of India. Chief Economic Advisor to the Government of India. Next, Yaga Venugopal Reddy and choice 5, Duvvuri Subbarao. Choice 2, Yaga Venugopal Reddy and Duvvuri Subbarao, both ex-RBI governors. Now coming to KV Subramaniam. KV Subramaniam is Krishnamurthy Venkata Subramaniam. Krishnamurthy Venkata Subramaniam is India's executive director at the IMF. India's executive director at the IMF. He is pretty young, just about 52, I guess. But you know what? Even before he was, nominated to be the ED, India's ED at IMF, he was the chief economic advisor to the government of India. Can you beat this? He was the chief economic advisor to the government of India. So before Mr. Nageshwaram came to the office of the economic advisor, chief economic advisor, it was Krishnamurthy Venkata Subramaniam who was the chief economic advisor to the government of India. He was the youngest chief economic advisor. I think he was about 45 something. Yeah. The Union Cabinet has approved India's participation in the SCA project along with the financial commitment of about 1250 crores. What are the correct statements? All of them are correct statements. It's basically an observatory which will study, universes, our universe, especially all the galaxies. I'm not going to discuss this because when there is a question that says all of them, I don't have to discuss. David Warner, who recently announced his retirement from ODI and Test cricket, is from Australia. You all know this. David Warner, I think, played 112 Test matches. 112 Test matches, and he scored 87-86 runs with 26 centuries. Can you believe this? 112 Test matches, 87-86 total runs and 26 centuries. Coming to ODIs, he retired from both so 161, and this is about 69-22 with 22 centuries. 22 centuries. No, it's not 69-22, it's 69-32, I think. Does not matter. I can take 10 runs off his career. Yeah. So he plays in the IPL as well. You must have seen him. Identify the correct statements about investors in India in 2023. Investor base of the National Stock Exchange increased by 22%. India's market capitalization crossed $4 trillion. That's a lot of money. Uttar Pradesh has had the highest gain in new investors, while the total market equity market is it added about 16 million, that is 1.6 crore people in 2023. So newer people coming into the stock market. I'll give you two terms: market capitalization, MCAP, or market capitalization, equals number of outstanding shares multiplied by market price. Let's say a company has issued 1 lakh shares and all of them are in the market. Each share is, let's say, worth 50 rupees. Okay, and let's say 1 lakh shares. Let's make it this way now. 1 lakh shares, and the price of each share is 50 rupees. How much would you do you think is the market cap? 50 lakhs. So this is a value for all the shares of the company. Okay, there are different parameters for this. There is something called free float technology, free float method. There is something called trading method. So we'll not go there. Stick to basic things. All shares multiplied by the share price of each, you will get market capitalization. So what is the NSE? India's biggest stock exchange that started in 1993. India's biggest stock exchange that started in 1993. Okay. Which of the following linked payment systems has become mandatory from Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act? Scheme workers. This is Aadhaar based. You could write this Aadhaar based payments bridge system. Aadhaar based payment bridge system. So this is useful, especially when people want subsidy from the government of India. So the government of India earlier used to charge low prices. Now it charges a full price, and it transfers the difference. Let's say the government says one cylinder will cost 1,000 rupees. Okay, you pay 1,000 rupees on delivery, but then the government says, okay, we'll give you a subsidy of 300 rupees. And so the effective cost is 700 rupees. But where will you get this 300? Into your bank account. Into your bank account. So the government doesn't give you cash direct subsidy. It gives you an indirect subsidy through cash payment. And this cash payment and all these kinds of subsidies are called direct benefit transfers. So the direct benefit transfers is happening through, ABPS. What does it say? ABPS is a payment mechanism for electronically channelizing government subsidies into the intended beneficiary's account. Electronically channeling the various subsidy amounts into the bank accounts of the intended beneficiaries. So the government says you link your bank account to your Aadhaar. Once basically, we identify, we verify everything, you would get your subsidy. So effective cost of that cylinder is just 700 rupees, my friends. It's a very good system. The scope for fraud has gone down. When people steal money, it's called skimming. What is it called? Skimming. SKIMMING. Look at this ship. I wanted 2 photographs, so I put both of them. The question went down. This is the icon of the sea. It's the world's biggest ship. Look at this. It's a cruise ship, and this is, look at this pool. Basically, pool everywhere. Yeah, there's a pool here as well. So this is the ship, my friends. I mean, it is a party, veritable party there. It's a cruise ship. I just wanted you to become familiar with the photograph. See this? Yeah. This is all, basically roller coaster kind of thing. This is through a slide. This is a slide actually. People go down like this. You understand this? Yeah. In collaboration with which institution is Reliance Jio Infocom planning to build India's artificial intelligence project named Bharat GPT. Bharat GPT. So I think we in the past have discussed the GPT and everything. So let's get past this, my friends. Indra Mani Pandey is the new Secretary General of BIMTECH, which is headquartered in Dhaka. What is BIMTECH? You could write this. Bay of Bengal initiative for multi-sectoral technical and economic cooperation. Okay. Next. Started 1997. Head office Dhaka. 7 members. Who are the 7 members? Nepal, Bhutan, India, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Thailand, and Sri Lanka. Okay. I think that should be fine, my friends. This is the capital of Myanmar, Naypyidaw. I think we discussed everything about BIMTECH, with which private company has the ISRO collaborated to launch the GSAT-20 communication satellite, SpaceX. GSAT is geosynchronous satellite. Yeah. Now, what about this SpaceX? This is Space Exploration Technology Corporation. Space Exploration Technology Corporation is a company started by Elon Musk sometime in 2002. It has 2 goals. One, to reduce space transportation cost. That is cost of going to space and coming back. So that's number 1 goal, to reduce space transportation cost. And 2, is to colonize Mars, M-A-R-S, Mars. So Elon Musk believes that we are pretty large number, we need a planet so that population could be controlled basically, so that people could go and make another home for themselves. So, that's what he's saying. Okay. World Braille Day is celebrated across the globe on January 4th. That's because it's a birthday of Louis Braille. Louis Braille was born. Yeah, Louis Braille was born. Oh, I is missing here. Was born on the 4th January 1809. 1809. He died in 1852. But at the age of 14, he met with an accident and he lost his eyesight. And he later, a little later, he developed a raised, what we say, script basically that is used by visually challenged persons today to read, learn, and communicate. It's an amazing thing, my friends. Now, in honor of the great contribution of Louis Braille, the World Braille Day is observed on his birthday. Okay? That's all in this session, my friends. Thank you for being here. Thank you from Bharat C. Jain. Enjoy yourself. Stay curious.